Thank you all so much for coming. What a brilliant turnout. My name's Franny Armstrong and I'm from a group called the Tiverton Tree Team, which is just a group of, an informal group of local people. We got together in the Courtney's pub in a historic evening in 2019, and we all were just feeling the same thing, which was really panic-stricken about the future, climate change, the collapse of the environment, etc. And we were all wanting to do something practical. So we thought, let's just get out there and plant trees. At least it's something. And so we put out a call on social media saying, has anybody got land? Has anybody got money? And has anybody got time to come and help? And we were inundated immediately, people giving us all three of those things. And so we started these tree planting Saturdays. Up to 72 people came, that was our record turnout. And we planted about 6,000 trees in our first 2 years at the Adventure Playground, at Knights Hayes, in burial sites, in farms, in schools, in nurseries, all over the area. And then the pandemic struck. And so we had to put the tree planting on hold, along with all the rest of life. And I think we were all feeling what perhaps many of us were, or everybody was feeling, which was really, really depressed at everything. Climate change every week in the news, just more and more terrifying. Wildlife populations have collapsed 68% worldwide. Then we've got all the antics our government are getting up to. Giving away taxpayers' monies to their chums for PPE that doesn't exist, and now doing illegal things, criminal activities even, and then Brexit, and now the cost of living crisis as well, making just life so much more difficult for ordinary people. So we were like, what can we do? And then along came a little miracle, which was this patch of grass, which was just an unused patch of grass that dog walkers used, and the District Council said we could have it or use it, and so somebody came up with the brilliant idea of a community orchard. And the reason we love the community orchard idea so much is it can tackle these problems, lots of problems at the same time. Climate wise, obviously the trees, not now because they're quite small, but when they're bigger they're going to be absorbing carbon, they're going to be helping with flooding in a small way. They're also going to be creating new habitat for wildlife. Obviously our wildlife is losing their habitat very, very fast. And also, it'll help with the cost of living crisis in that they're going to be providing free food for the people of Tiverton. So really we feel that this orchard is just a little beacon of hope in very, very dark times. And so that was the idea, then we had to do it. And luckily, within our group, we had somebody who has got 25 years experience as a horticulturist designing community orchards and forest gardens and things like that. So, over to you, Jenny Haynes.
Here,
there she is, Jenny.
Hi, hello. I hope I can speak loud enough, but just let me know if I'm not. So it was so lovely to be asked to help with the orchard, and I've already met so many lovely people just by being involved in the planting day, so that's so wonderful. What I know for anyone to talk about is the different kinds of trees that we've planted. So we wanted to make an orchard for the future, so that's for future generations to enjoy, but also to create a habitat for wildlife and biodiversity. And along with the traditional rows of apples that are behind us, we've also got an incredibly wide diversity of different types of fruits and nuts and berries, which will obviously be food for us, but also food for wildlife in the future, for pollinators. It's very exciting because one of the trees we planted in December is an almond tree, which is at the far end, and that's already blossomed and is already starting to make little almonds. You can see little almonds starting to form at the base of the flowers, which is wonderful. Franny and I always produce these wonderful signs, and I'd really encourage everyone to read them because there's some amazing stories behind some of the apple varieties. It's lovely to read about them. They're all heritage varieties that were grown by Ruth at Steepholding, who's a wonderful plants woman. She's grafted these trees. And we have one of the trees is a Devon variety called Long Keeper, and that apple can be kept into June of the following year from fruiting. So we really hope in the future that the orchard will actually provide us with fruit all through the year. And we've got some really unusual, at the moment unusual, but I think they'll probably become more common in the future. Some fruit bushes like sea buckthorn, which you would pick in December and January even, honey berries, which come in May, and then the soft fruit will start to produce, and then we'll get into the lovely traditional fruits, the pears, the plums. We've got cherries, damsons, mulberries. Some really interesting varieties of pear, like the Asian pear, which sounds very exotic, but is actually it grows very well in Devon. It's really adapted to the wet climate here, and they're a kind of a hard pear that you eat like an apple, and they're just one of the most delicious fruits that I've ever eaten. So let's hope that in a few years' time you'll be able to come down, and even, you know, in generations to come, I really hope that the trees will put down roots, they'll form a community with all the other wonderful plants that we've got growing, and create a really wonderful environment for people and for wildlife alike. And I think, Franny said on the signs, you can see we're just saying that really it's for everyone to enjoy. It's just one of the most wonderful things to see for me is children to come and pick and eat and enjoy what's here. And it's just that concept really of not picking everything, not taking everything. So if you come down and the Asian pear is covered in beautiful Asian pears, obviously please enjoy some, but leave some for other people. And there'll be a point, you know, in years to come where there will be gluts of fruit, and, you know, they can be collected and pressed into juice. And I think, you know, as the orchard develops and the produce develops, there'll be all sorts of wonderful opportunities for people to come together and enjoy eating them. So yeah, I think that's it. I would just really encourage everyone to read the signs, because we learned so much just by researching and writing them. You know, it's incredibly interesting that what we think of as native trees or traditional English trees actually have come over the centuries, come from all around the world, and come to be grown here and enjoyed. So yeah, I will.
Over to Ray from the council, who's going to speak to us.
Thanks very much. Well, this is fantastic. You know, nice to see such a nice gathering here today, and fine weather and everything. I can't be responsible for the weather, but there you are. I'm delighted to be here today representing the District Council, who own the land on behalf of the community. We are very pleased that the volunteers of Tiverton Tree Team have stepped forward, and in turn what has gathered a lovely unused patch of grass. It is wonderful new community amenity. It is fabulous to see families here today enjoying this tranquil riverside location. Devon has historically been an area rich with orchards, but many have been lost over the years, and I hope this is the start of the reversing of that trend, and that this will be a catalyst for similar projects across Mid Devon. I invite anyone who would like to create similar projects to contact us at the District Council, as there may be other sites that we would be able to donate the land for. On the 26th of June 2019, the Council voted unanimously that we would help to tackle the global climate emergency by reaching net zero carbon emissions across the district by 2030. Net zero means that the total carbon emissions we all produce via transport, heating our homes, food productions and so on are not more than the total absorbed by other plants and trees and any carbon created technology. Clearly, to achieve this enormous task we have set ourselves means that we need to be making fundamental changes right across our society. Unfortunately, the pandemic has held up this, and now we are only 7 years left. There is a large amount of work to be done, and it can be quite daunting at times, but I think with creation of this orchard by volunteers show that the people of Tiverton are ready to start making that changes needed to make safe and secure future for our children and grandchildren. So thank you very much, and it was great to see everybody here today, and I'm sure we got something to enjoy in years to come. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. So the orchard represents hundreds of hours of work and I just wanted to say a few quick thank yous to Dave and Rosie and Ruth, who grew and researched the apple trees, to Jenny, who designed the soft fruit and the non-apple trees, to all the volunteers who came and helped plant, and importantly, to everybody who donated via our crowdfunder for the money, much of the money that's paying for all this. Also, we've got a lovely new donation from Mid Devon, and that's a load of wildflower seeds. And you're all invited to take some away with you today and plant them wherever you can. So I'm going to hand over for the official opening to two people from the next generation. And I really just wanted to apologise to yourselves and to all the young people here, really, on behalf of my generation and People Plus, really for the state of the world that we are bequeathing you. And I hope that this is just a symbol of a more positive future that we can build together. And so this orchard is a gift from our generation.
Good morning. My name is Polly Mortimore and I'm the head girl at Tiverton High School.
My name is Jayadev Soj and I'm the head boy at Tiverton High School.
The last few years have been very challenging and we feel constant worry about climate change and whether the world will be livable as we turn to grown ups.
Then there's the cost of university fees, for example the rent, which are much higher for us than our parents and grandparents' generations. Everything seems to be travelling in the wrong direction, and so many of my friends and our fellow pupils are suffering really badly with their mental health.
Jay and I are part of the ambassador team at Tiverton High School, and our year's legacy is focusing on expanding the outside and wildlife area, which will support our students' mental health and well-being.
It's lovely to know that volunteers have came together to plan this orchard, which will provide free food for us in the future.
We are proud to finally open this community asset as a place where generations can come to get the fruit that they have planted. Now declare the Tiverton Community Orchard
The idea is that we're blessing and protecting our orchard, and we're also asking it to really produce fantastic fruit for us all to eat. Okay? So, it is, for those who can't read it, it's strong branches and strong roots. Can you repeat after me? Strong branches and strong roots. We wish for lots of fruit. I can't remember it now. So do you want to say that a few times? Strong branches and strong roots. We wish for lots of fruit. Strong branches and strong roots. We wish for lots of fruit. Branches and strong roots. We wish for lots of fruit. If you forget the words while we're going around, just say whatever you like. But the idea is that we are protecting and we are blessing our beautiful orchard, and we're encouraging lots and lots of fruit, okay? We need to make so much noise to scare them off, okay? So 1, 2, 3, Absolutely well done. Ready, steady, go!
it doesn't help.
Branches and strong roots. We wish for lots of fruit. Strong branches and strong roots. We wish for lots of fruit. Strong branches and strong roots. We wish for lots of So the very final part is that we are going to offer this lovely organic brown bread that's been soaked in cider to the trees, to the local wildlife, and the honour is going to be done
Thank you
by our mayor.
Thank you. Here we go then. Do we need to say anything when we do it? Just do it.
Just do it with intent.
Here we go.
And the very final part of any wassail is for us all to shout out that one word 3 times. So wassail, okay? So 1, 2, 3. Wassail! 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 Hurrah!